The following is a presentation of The Day.
Greatness is a term too easily thrown around. It should be reserved for the elite, the remarkable, the ones who rise to heights to which few can aspire. The St. Bernard boys basketball team is worthy of this term. The defending Division II state champions haven't skipped a beat this year, winners of 10 in a row and 24 straight in the ECC. Coach Mark Jones has the ruthless Amir Gray, the talented Naz Rembert, but the maturation of freshmen Kurt Marshall and Troy McKelvin Jr. have taken the Saints to an even loftier place. They are ferocious and precocious. The Saints, in Division I, have a case to make for most talented team in the state, but not the best. To be the best, you must beat the best. And the best, simply put, is East Catholic. The Eagles are the two-time defending Division I state champions and winners of 3 of the last 4 crowns. Coach Luke Riley has Quinnipiac-bound Samson Riley, veteran guard Yayo Rodriguez, and plenty of size with big men Braden Jones and Josh Harris. The Eagles haven't lost to a Connecticut team this year, and that includes an early season win over the Saints when Riley dropped 36. East Catholic is synonymous with greatness. St. Bernard's wants to be the best. East Catholic is the best. The Saints want to rule Division I, and the road goes straight through the Eagles. It's the rematch everyone is waiting for. The St. Bernard Saints travel to the East Catholic Eagles to settle a classic debate. Who is the best? We'll have all the action live on game day on theday.com.
As the crowd continues to filter into the cozy confines on the campus of East Catholic High School, a battle between two Catholic schools reminiscent of the old Catholic school championships as the number 5 team in the state, St. Bernard, comes to East Catholic to play the machine that is the Eagles, the number 1 team in the state, and all the action is live on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that's good begins with a smile, and at Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our personalized and gentle care that you deserve is right at your fingertips. Their entire team dedicated to giving you all that you want and more. Your dental care belongs to Waterford Dental Health. So visit them at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Casey O'Neill, along with the Bruno Magli of sports announcers, Chris Giusti, the coach, and coach. Anybody who's not in the gym tonight and that's watching us at home is going to be in for a treat because games like this are special.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of the top 5 teams in the state, shades of the old ACC conference in the state of Connecticut, 2 Catholic school powers, 2 great coaches, and a rematch from a game in December and possibly only round 2 of a 3-round fight.
And, you know, there's accolades to go around, and we'll talk about both sides. There's so many things in play here when you start talking about what St. Bernard has done in southeastern Connecticut and what East Catholic has done in Connecticut. You really start getting an understanding for just how impressive the program is. But speaking of impressive, let's get it to the third part of our team tonight, the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien.
Hey guys, old school gymnasium, state championship banners all over the walls. What a great atmosphere tonight for a high school game. 2 months ago when we saw these 2 teams, you talked to the coaches, well, we're figuring things out. This is the first, second game of the season, and we're just kind of feeling it out and see where we're at. Well, both these teams and both these coaches have figured it out, Casey. Number 5 versus number 1 in the state. Both teams clicking and both teams ready for the next 2 weeks of the season. This should be a barn burner here tonight.
Thank you, sports doctor. As we get ready to get into the starting lineups and the national anthem, we're going to talk really quickly before we send it to a break, but really quickly, to put it in perspective, the St. Bernard Saints have won 24 straight games in the conference, the ECC. They're the defending Division II champions, and their only losses this year are to this East Catholic team as well as Windsor, 2 top teams. You flip the script, East Catholic has won the last 3 state championships of Division I that have been handed out, and they haven't lost in state to a team since 2021. They are just continuing to cycle great team after great team. Luke Riley is as good a coach as they come.
And that loss, Casey, was to none other than Donovan Klingen's Bristol Central team. By the way, Klingen projected to go in the top 10 in next year's NBA draft. Yes, this East Catholic team is a perennial power, and when we look ahead to the Division I state tournament, St. Bernard, the defending Division II champion, is now in Division I, so that's what I alluded to when I said this could be a 3-round fight. These are 2 of the top teams in the state. All teams aren't created equal in Division I. They're all very good, but there's probably only a handful that truly have a chance to win it all at Mohegan.
And one of the interesting parts of this game is that when we saw these 2 teams in the Holiday Classic back in December, both were incorporating a lot of new faces into the lineup. You know, their sophomore Braden Jones was getting more minutes than he had, and their senior forward Josh Harris, how were the 2 bigs going to play together? The really only known was Samson Riley, and he threw up 36 in that game. For St. Bernard's, they had 4 new starters on the floor, and both coaches said, we're kind of trying to figure it out. And we circled tonight, talking to both coaches, they both said, you know what, we figured it out. Both teams love how they're playing right now. St. Bernard's has won 10 in a row. East Catholic, Coach Riley was loving it. So I think for both teams, they really like where they are. So let's take this opportunity to meet all of the players in tonight's game.
Rocco Riley, a.k.a. Rockstar, Riley Basketball School.
Joey Beast, homeschooled.
Ed Rodriguez, you are your own.
Connor Keneally, straight from Ireland. Cahill Bell, Get Bouncy Academy.
Theo Perkins, straight out of South London.
Samson Riley, too cool for school.
Ryan Farley, Full Court University. Omar Quendo, R2D Academy.
Kai Anderson, Filipino Academy.
Michael Bradley, Takeoff Academy.
Josh Harris, Big Guard Academy.
JJ Hay, Jump Shot Elementary.
Braden Jones, Big Boy Basketball Academy.
Colin Halsey, TYB Academy.
Nas Rebert,
Jonah Eddy, the Trench City School.
Shem Adams, Phillies Academy.
Ty Grusian, Peyton Pritchard School.
Amir Gray, Gallup Elementary.
Colin O'Leary, Kenyon Day School.
Curtis Marshall, Shadur Academy.
Justin Allo, the Boondocks Boarding School.
Oakley Garrison. Tyler Manguel, the Luke Gilday Academy.
Nate Little, just here for Warm-Ups Academy. Darren Anthony Robinson III, Reverend Gonzalez, the Lombardo School.
Troy McKelvin Jr., Big Troy Academy.
Tyson Manguel, the Luke Gilday Academy.
Amari Marshall, RMS Elementary.
Savion Melendez, My Knee Hurts Academy.
Well, when I'm up here in Manchester, I always like some freshly squeezed juice. Best part of any trip anywhere. What are the keys to tonight's game, Coach?
Casey, for East Catholic, make them operate. The Saints have a lot of speed and want to get out and run. Force them to execute an offense in the half court. Own the middle. Attack the interior of the Saints D and force them to defend inside. And play it again, Samson. Talking about the Eagles' leader, Samson Riley. When in doubt, get him the ball and let him cook. For St. Bernard, no seconds. Must limit East to 1 shot per possession. 5 guys need to box out and rebound all game long. Anyone but Sam. Riley scored 36 points in their last meeting. It's an understatement to say they can't let that happen again tonight. And more. Find a way to get the ball more often. Create turnovers, win the 50-50 balls, and get offensive rebounds.
Well, we're going to tee it up here with Braden Jones jumping up against Troy McKelvin Jr. Part of the maturation of St. Bernard's is Kurt Marshall and McKelvin's impact on the game. Tip 1 from East Catholic into the hands of Riley, guarded by Mangual. Yayo Rodriguez looking for the cutter to Hay.
St. Bernard, man-to-man.
Gray is on Rodriguez. Hounded from Gray. And Riley with the defensive-minded Mangual. Gray comes from behind, strips. Nas Rembert, stutter steps, blows by Hay, and throws it away.
Good sign, though, for St. Bernard, Casey. I do think they're going to have to create turnovers, get some extra possessions somehow tonight to keep up with the disciplined East Catholic offense.
Be interesting to see how much they put the ball in the hands of Riley instead of running him off of screens, which is what we saw a lot of, making him work. Beautiful cut, and Jones with a dunk. Little switch problem there for the Saints. Amir Gray looking for a screen, drives, pulls up from his spot, doesn't get it to go. Mangual saves it to Gray. Another chance, different spot, misses it again. Tipped out Gray. This time he goes to Curtis Marshall. He can't get it. Mangual goes down hard, and the Saints come up empty with 4 tries.
Yeah, but it's a good sign. They're getting extra shots. They're getting extra possessions. It's a good sign.
Gray normally very consistent from that spot. Riley with a 3, back iron, no good, and Rembert's going to push for the Saints. Stripped by Hay. Harris finishes for the Eagles.
That's something St. Bernard can't do. They cannot turn the ball over and give East extra possessions.
Marshall spins, goes down hard, and we're going to get a travel call. Your officials tonight, Juwan Williams, Tony Zakoski, and Dan Bronco, East Catholic. And I want to talk to you, Coach, about something I hear about East Catholic a lot. And after this possession, I'm going to delve into a little bit. Rodriguez dumps down. Harris has the size, gives it to Jones, and Jones scores over Rembert. The two bigs working well together. 6-0 Eagles.
Yeah, the size is giving St. Bernard problems right now, and that's why I think they really have to make sure that they try to create some turnovers and be able to convert with these extra opportunities.
Stripped, Rodriguez. Out ahead. Riley knocks down the triple. And a timeout quickly as Mark Jones sees his team down 9-0 here in the early going.
Yeah, a couple costly mistakes. Made a decent East Catholic start, turned into a great one. A turnover in transition for St. Bernard led to a 2-on-1 and an easy layup. And then right there, Manguel goes for the steal, misses it, and leaves Sampson wide open for 3. You got to be sound defensively against this East Catholic team, or they'll make you pay.
So that's a 2 for Riley. They say just inside the line. So it's 8-0 East Catholic. But this is a really good illustration, right? So over dribbling, find the open man, size advantage, and a bucket. When teams come out of the games with East Catholic, I hear all the time, we played lousy. You know, they're good, but we didn't play very good. And I said, it's funny how 40 consecutive teams played bad. You'd think someone would eventually play good. And I said, that's the sort of spider web that is East Catholic, is teams don't come out awed by their talent all the time. But at the end of the game, they're on the wrong side of things. You know, teams come away from Windsor once in a while, or Northwest Catholic, and they're like, wow, those guys, whew. They don't necessarily feel that way about East Catholic, but they keep finding a way to win. So I said, it's funny. There's a reason why everyone plays bad against them. They make you play bad.
Yeah, and they don't beat themselves. I mean, that's the thing that, St. Bernard actually got a turnover and 3 offensive rebounds in the first couple possessions, weren't able to cash them in. They're going to be kicking themselves if they're not able to pull this one out for that slow start.
Marshall tried to put it on the floor. Instead, McKelvin straightaway 3, no good. Mangual with the offensive rebound, but the Saints can't get it to go in the hole.
Hey, another offensive rebound, got to be able to cash that in.
Nice job. Harris tried to find Jones, but McKelvin stepped in. Keith, you got something for us?
Yeah, coming out of that last time out, Coach Jones said we can't turn the ball over. We can't gamble. They're going to make the right play, so let's not gamble out there with the basketball. You got to take care of it. We got to finish, and you need to pick up their intensity a little bit, Casey.
Gray from the foul line. Can't get it to go. Nothing going down right now for the Saints. Riley in the other direction, and he's strong. 10-0. Rembert, crazy, nothing going down in the basket. Check for a lid, they're saying. Yayo, dumps down, and Jones is going to draw the foul and go to the line to shoot 2.
And you're starting to see the blueprint for this East Catholic team, you know, as they will continue to progress through this game and look towards the postseason, is getting the ball inside to these bigs. You know, when Braden Jones played back in December in the Day Holiday Classic, he was a very young sophomore. Now as 3 sophomores play a lot of minutes for East Catholic, they're not true sophomores anymore. They have a lot of varsity experience, and they're contributors to this potent attack.
Both free throws knocked down by Jones. 12-0 East Catholic. The Saints have dug themselves quite the early hole. O'Leary and Grudgeon into the game for the Saints. Gray, kick out, open look for O'Leary. Good. So the Saints finally get on the board. Colin O'Leary knocks down a 3 and a turnover in the other direction, Saints basketball.
And that's, you know, something that St. Bernard does have this year, is that bench depth. They bring O'Leary off the bench. You know, he first steps foot on the floor and he's able to drill a 3. That's a big boost and a luxury that Coach Jones has, that he can go to his bench and find scoring this year.
Gray turns it over. Great hands from Rodriguez. Zips it. Riley fakes the 3 and instead drives. Good defense interior by the Saints. McKelvin with the rebound. Grudgeon ahead to Gray. Gray goes baseline, and he'll be fouled by Harris, and he'll shoot 2.
And a good move by Gray. First couple jump shots didn't fall. Uses the hard shot fake jab step, gets to the rim, draws the foul. Chance to settle down, get his stroke right here from the charity stripe.
Yeah, and there's, you know, just like in baseball, there's no 5-run homers. There's no 12-point buckets in basketball, right? You just got to chip away possession by possession. That means knocking down free throws. And Gray, who has already missed 3 elbow jumpers, which is not usual for him, misses the first free throw. So Amir Gray's got to get locked in on this particular basket. Second one no good as well. Empty trip for the Saints. Jones gives it back to Hay. Now O'Leary gets the assignment on Samson Riley. Swings it. Rodriguez dumps down to Jones, and Jones just easy over Marshall.
Yeah, the defense wasn't terrible. It's just good execution from East Catholic, getting a big man a point-blank shot.
O'Leary, quick trigger 3, no good. And whereas the other one, he was spotted up, I don't like that one as much. I don't think Coach Jones wants that one either.
Yeah, a little alter, too. I think a good, better closeout from East Catholic on that play.
Riley gets a little screen, subtle screen from Harris. Now Hay dumps down Jones. Harris, 10-footer, no good. Good defense that time by the Saints. Marshall pushes it ahead. Marshall, basket is no good. It was halfway down, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2 anyway. And if Jawan Williams ended up in the parking lot, our official got bumped through the door, ended up in the parking lot for a minute.
Good take by Kurt, though. Put the ball backed in the defender, put the ball in a protected situation where he was able to ensure that he got a shot off halfway down.
That is 3 straight misses from the free throw line by the Saints.
Yeah, he was quick off that foul line, too. Saints look very uncomfortable right now, even though this gym is kind of got a sleepy feel to it right now. It's not at full throat by any means.
Double O, Omar Akendo into the basketball game. He had good minutes in the Classic earlier this year. One more for Marshall. And it's tough to chip into a lead if you miss free throws. And the second one's no good. That's 4 straight missed free throws from the Saints. And I really do think someone needs to check that particular basket. Did someone put like the cellophane over the basket like the toilet seat? Or Akendo just into the game, calmly knocks down an elbow jumper.
Good play design. Ran a curl screen to take the defense away from the elbow area, left Akendo open.
O'Leary, this time a straightaway three, no good. Grudgeon tries to go on the putback. He's fouled, and the Saints will give a third person a chance at 2 from the free throw line.
I mean, the game is, the score is definitely in favor of East Catholic, obviously, but the Saints are doing some things that give them hope. And one of those things is being able to get offensive rebounds. The other thing is being able to draw fouls. So it's not like they're just, they can't get the ball over half court. They're being smothered in the half court offense, and they're taking bad shots. I mean, they're getting good shots. They're getting offensive rebounds. They're getting fouled. They can't make free throws. They can't make putbacks. 1
of 6 for the free throw line for the Saints so far. Gray gets the assignment on Rodriguez, and now back to Riley. Dump up top, elbow to Jones. Looking for a little pick and roll, and we got a foul away from the, can we call it on the ball? Yeah, foul called against Saints. So Hay will inbound for the Eagles. And a steal out ahead of the pack. Curtis Marshall. And he's fouled hard by Jones, and he'll shoot 2. But this is a good example of, in the comfy confines of the little school on the hill against ECC teams, Curtis Marshall is used to taking off with that one and dunking it with no one trailing. Not only was Jones not letting him have the dunk, Jones went for the block and got a lot of it.
Yeah, looked pretty clean up top. Could have been a lot of body down low. This is a good officiating crew, so I'm not going to question that.
No, I think it's a much better example of there's no one's letting you off to the races to throw a dunk down here. You're going to get contested. And I think Kurt did it casually, thinking he was going to be given the dunk. And Jones was like, no, not here.
No.
We're not doing that. So that's a good lesson right there. But he does make both free throws, and the lead is 10. Steal by Grudgeon, but he knocks it out of bounds. And that's where the intensity needs to pick up. We saw that first possession. St. Bernard stripped them, playing really good D. Since then, they've been letting I think once the ball gets into the hands of the bigs for East Catholic, you're kind of done for. So you really need to try to limit that lob pass into Jones.
Yeah. Ball pressure on the perimeter, meeting the posts a little bit higher up. Don't let them get position down low. St. Bernard's got to weather the storm here. Try to chip away, get a stop.
And I'm going to ask you another question here after this possession from East Catholic. Riley, long three, no good. And he's going to draw the foul. He'll shoot 3. And O'Leary has to question that one.
That's tough. Got to get straight up on that closeout and not leave any doubt. What's the question, Case?
St. Bernard's wins the Division II state championship. It's not like they're a stranger to big games. They've played Windsor, East Catholic, Ridgefield. They're no strangers to big games this year. As a coach, though, even when you're looking at your normal rotation, changing your rotation on the fly based on what you see tonight, what you see from your team in this matchup, in this gym tonight, is how difficult is that? And I'll speak specifically, Mark Jones is getting extended minutes right now from O'Leary and Grudgeon versus Rembert and Mangual, because he clearly saw something tonight, right now, in this gym, different, that he said, this is what I need to do right now for this rotation. How hard is that, and what kinds of things did you see as a coach to help you influence those decisions?
No, it hurts, but you have to understand that, and I know you understand this for covering this game for so long, high school kids, they're just not always consistent, and that's why when you're able to put together the streaks of wins that both these programs have, it's nothing short of amazing. But for tonight, yeah, coach has got to try to shake it up a little bit. The start was so bad, so flat, that he's just trying to kind of shake it up and hope for a little bit of magic to kind of get through this bad spell.
Yayo Rodriguez with the spin, and I think they forgot he's left-handed because they let him spin to his strong side. He finishes, draws the foul, and it's a 19-6 East Catholic lead.
So, you know, when the ball's rolling downhill like that, you're just trying to find any way to stop it, and get to that quarter break and then get to halftime. Coach Jones is one of the best at making halftime adjustments, but if he's in a position where an adjustment won't help, then, you know, doesn't matter if he has that skill.
I'm not sure what's more shocking. With 30 seconds remaining in the first period, one of the best defensive teams in the state, St. Bernard's, has given up 19 points, or one of the best offensive teams in the state, St. Bernard's, has scored 6.
Yeah, I think for me, that's the more shocking. And a lot of it's self-inflicted.
Wild shot by McKelvin. I think it's a testament, though, to why teams come away saying we didn't play good. But it's a function of East. And the offensive efficiency for East is remarkable. Under 5 seconds remaining here, and McKelvin fouled as he heads down the sideline. And that's going to be the 5th foul there on East Catholic. So with 2.7 seconds remaining, McKelvin will shoot 2. East Catholic 19-6 here as we head to the end of the 1. Free throws have been an absolute bugaboo for the Saints here. They have not been able to knock them down in the first quarter. McKelvin cleanly knocks down the first. One more for Troy McKelvin Jr. And that'll cut the lead to 12. Riley lets it go. Good if it goes. It's no good. We're at the end of 1, an 11-point lead for East Catholic. It's 19-8. Second quarter action coming up. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
All that is good begins with a smile. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Part of our commitment to serving our patients includes providing information that helps them to make more informed decisions about their oral health needs. Our website is a resource we hope you'll find both useful and interesting. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com.
They get a breakaway on. Turnovers like this have affected St. Bernard's tonight, and then, of course, great play by Rodriguez there. It's 19-8 as we head into the second quarter. When we head into gyms like this, Juice, it's always nice to gaze upon history. Now, Sports Doctor was working for UPS by the time that '68 championship was won. But it's the history of this gym affects teams, and St. Bernard's right now certainly not playing to the level they need to play if they're going to stand up to the impact of an East Catholic.
Yeah, the game is about a bucket. You got to make shots. St. Bernard missed their first 8 from the field and their first 4 free throws. So they're going to have to get it going offensively. They're not out of it yet. You got to compartmentalize this game now. Chop it into pieces. First 4 minutes of this quarter are critical. They got to come out and make some shots.
Sports Doctor, you were listening in. What'd you hear?
Yeah, make some shots. That was the point here in the huddle. St. Bernard's only 1 made field goal in the first corner, the 3-pointer from the corner. The rest was from the charity stripe. Coach Riley says they're letting us play. It's going to be physical, so let's have a game out there and let's finish this off.
Yeah, and physicality is going to be how, the Division I tournament is officiated. So this is a good preview for both teams.
One of my favorite players, Joey Montalvo. I call him a pest in the Classic. He is an irritant, and I mean that in all of the best ways. He's that kid that just gets under your skin. He's the Brad Marchand of the basketball team. That was a Mike DeMoro special right there. Block. Gray doesn't have numbers. Challenges anyway, no call, and then a late call on Omar Akendo, and Gray will shoot 2.
Yeah, I think that was a good call by the official. Obviously, Gray uses his crafty hang time to draw the foul.
Gray missed his first 2, the first chance he had at the line. This one is true, and the Saints are in double figures. It's 19-10.
Yeah, that was definitely a foul. Good call. Slapped him on the wrist. Started with a good defensive possession. They got a stop, block shot on Sampson. Got out in transition with a breakout.
And Gray knocks them both down. Saints starting to get a little bit better at the free throw line.
They want to chop this game up now. First 4 minutes, win these first 4 minutes.
Montalvo, and Gray's going to draw the foul as he tried to anticipate. That's that backdoor, sort of like jump the route kind of steal.
Yeah, he's really good at that. He's so quick. Talking with the super fan, Frank Beneski, before the game, he said the key to St. Bernard is Amir Gray. He's the head.
Good inbounds. Akendo gets the rebound of his own miss, and then a tie-up. Possession arrow favors the Saints. Grudgeon. Rembert back in the game for the Saints. Hesitates, hangs in the air. Lucky bounce. Now Grudgeon. We're going to get a travel, but that ball was tipped.
Yeah, I think he actually traveled before the tip. That's what the official thinks, at least.
Montalvo up top to Jones. Riley, high post with Grudgeon on him. Akendo for 3. No good. Rembert tips it. It's on the floor, and Gray comes out of it for the Saints. Saints with numbers. Gray's going to get the block. I think it's a little bit of a bailout. Riley's going to get the foul, but I think that was a lucky break for Amir Gray because he went up in the air not really knowing what he was going to do.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to call this because it definitely looked like he was passing it.
They're going to give him 2 free throws, and I think that is a double gift because I think he could have gotten a charge for sure, and then certainly he was looking to pass the basketball.
I think it's a block in the college game, and these guys that are officiating tonight ref a lot of college games. So remember, they have the restricted area. There is much more emphasis on holding your position. You see pretty much straight up. So maybe they felt he was late, but.
And looking at the angle right there, I can see why they gave him the 2 shots because the ball kind of sails out at the end. And, when the foul was called, he had it up like he was going to go up for the layup. Overall, very good call. And when I question calls from the officials, it's more because what you see, what we're seeing is what the people at home are seeing, with the naked eye. So the question is more like, hey, why do you think they saw what they saw? And I think your point is a really good one, right? 3-man crew. Officiate a lot of college games, they're going to be seeing things differently, or they're going to be calling things differently than what maybe we see at home. Yeah. And I really like that example right there. And that's a good call. Saints have it down to 7. Rodriguez with the basketball for the Eagles now. Riley swings it up top to Hay.
And Grudgeon has done a great job on Riley the last couple of possessions. He's surprisingly strong, Grudgeon.
Riley pump fake 3, no good. Rembert. Weak side rebound, up ahead. Grudgeon drives, hangs, and scores. The Saints on a little run have cut it now. 19-12. It's now down to 5, 19-14.
And Grudgeon, this only 10th grader, going against the seasoned veteran senior Samson Riley. But right now,
good double team. Mangual with the steal, 2-on-1 with Gray. Mangual finishes. It's down to 3. The Saints have cut it to 1 possession.
Weathering the storm, compartmentalizing the game. They've definitely come out and won this first 4 minutes.
Timeout, East Catholic. 10-0 run from the Saints have got it down to a 1-possession game, 19-16, and Luke Riley wants the 30. So we'll keep it here and talk a little bit You were in the middle of saying it, Juice. Let's expound on it. How you take a terrible start and a big hole like St. Bernard's had and get it to a one-possession game.
Well, it starts with making shots, right? And here we see a made layup as opposed to missed layups. But you can't, like you said, Casey, you can't hit a 5-run home run. You got to chip away, and you make that clear to your players by saying, let's just win these next 4 minutes. You know, whether it's we win it 9-8, whether we win it 2-0. Let's just win these next 4 minutes, and then we've got the overall score a little bit lower. Well, St. Bernard's has come out and blown them out in these first 4 minutes of the second quarter, and now we have a really tight ball game.
And now the Saints have to weather the inevitable counterpunch that's going to be coming from East Catholic. Sports Doctor, you were listening in. What did Coach Riley have to say?
Yeah, Coach Riley was upset with his team because they're settling for that first offensive look. They're not moving the basketball. Let's looking for some secondary action and movement on the offensive end.
Riley, great job from Grudgeon again, and Mangual with the weak side help. Riley, though, goes strong and uses the left-hand reverse. Great defense, better offense.
Yeah, St. Bernard's needed baseline help on that play.
Gray will draw the foul as he went by Hay. We'll see who they call the foul on, but it'll be underneath. Yeah, I mean, Grudgeon can't do anything better than that. But for Riley to make it right without any help, that's still an incredibly athletic play by Samson Riley. Rembert for three. Good! Nas back here, and it's a 2-point game.
And if he heats up, it just totally changes the offense for the Saints. Right now, my spotlight is right on the Grudgeon-Riley matchup.
Riley, the savvy scorer, setting him up. You know he's setting him up. Quick trigger, Yayo for three. Got it!
St. Bernard got what they want at that time. It just Yayo makes a great shot.
Rembert from the parking lot, no good. That's not a shot that I think they want moving forward. I know you say he needs to shoot. You know, shooters need to shoot to heat up, but fall away from Riley. Oh, that's pretty. Picturesque from Samson Riley.
Yeah, once again, not much you can do. He used the fadeaway, his height advantage. Get the jump shot off.
Back to 7. Marshall drives. Contact, nothing, and that ball again was halfway down. It didn't go. Curtis Marshall has not been able to get the ball into the basket. Riley given a little bit of space. Shooter's going to shoot, and Samson going to score. Lead back up again with the counterpunch from East Catholic. Rembert for three. Good! Nas heating up for the Saints.
2 of the last 3 that he's taken have fallen. 7-point lead for the Eagles.
They've switched, and they've got Gray on Riley now. Harris being given plenty of room to the cutting Jones. Good hands from Gudgeon, out of bounds to the Eagles.
Slipped that screen there. Luckily, Grudgeon was able to tap it away, or it would have been a layup.
McKelvin Jr. into the game. Keep your eyes now. Gray's taking a breather here with 3:23, which means Grudgeon's going to be running the point. They've got Riley double teamed. He's in no man's land. And he gets a bailout by the Saints in so much as a tip. He threw that one up, really having nowhere to go. That's great defense. Shot clock's down to 5. Rodriguez to inbound. Rodriguez is going to have to shoot it after the shot clock expires. Riley gets it right off. No good. And the tip goes to Mangual. Great defensive effort that time by the Saints. McKelvin for three. In and out, no good. Strong rebound, Riley. So good on the baseline. Riley finds Jones. Beautiful look.
Every time they go to that baseline drive, St. Bernard's has got to make an adjustment on how they're going to defend that on the help side.
Rembert, step back three, no good, in and out. The basket has not been kind to the Saints. They're getting good looks. Riley's been heating it up a little bit here for the Eagles. Mangual now takes the assignment. And Grudgeon is on Rodriguez. Yayo. Crafty veteran, senior guard, crosses him over. Baseline, they find Jones. Baby hook over McKelvin is good.
The Saints don't have an answer for how to defend the East Catholic bigs.
League late back to 11. Grudgeon pulls up, no good, tipped. McKelvin able to save it. He drives baseline. Now Grudgeon for three. Good! Triple for number 3.
Big shot by Grudgeon. St. Bernard's trying to buy some minutes here for Amir to rest a little bit.
Lead is back into single digits. It's 8. Double team on Riley. Out to Bell. Rodriguez drives. Good defense. Shot clock under 10. Bell, quick trigger 3. Back iron, no good. And somehow Harris stole it from Marshall using the body in a nice agile effort from Harris.
Yeah, that's tough. Good defense by the Saints, and they give up the offensive rebounds.
Under a minute. Marshall, no good. 10-point lead for East Catholic. Riley for 3, no good. And Jones is going to draw the foul and shoot 2. The Saints getting beat on the glass right now by Harris and Jones.
Yeah, it's been a problem all night long. Gonna have to find an answer here in the locker room, how they're gonna keep these guys off the glass and scoring inside on that baseline drive.
And the Saints have to be careful because with all the work they got to get it to a one-possession game, they're in danger of being right back where they started at the end of the first period if they don't make a shot and or defend here in the last 35 seconds. For all that work, it's an 11-point lead right now for East Catholic.
A good timeout by Coach Riley after the Saints went on a 10-0 run. They made some adjustments, settled down.
Jones has been excellent from the line thus far, and he knocks that one down as well. I love a big guy with a good shot from the free throw line. 12 for Braden Jones. 30 seconds remaining here in the half. Gray. Bell gets to his spot, zips it, and it's tipped off of Akendo. And it'll be Saints ball underneath. 13 seconds on the shot clock, 13 seconds essentially on the game clock. Rembert for 3, that's a side iron, no good. Off to the races. Rodriguez ahead, Riley over the top of Grudgeon. 5 seconds remaining. Gray, Rembert, spot up 3 at the buzzer. Got it, it's good. As we head into halftime, a 3 from Naz Rembert cuts the lead to 11, 39-28. Sports Doctor is going to have a quick word with Luke Riley. Sports Doctor.
Coach, they cut the lead to 5 at one point on a 10-0 run. You pushed to 11. What was the difference after that timeout?
Early leads don't really mean much. I mean, it's fool's gold. Like, it's going to be a competitive game. We know that. Early leads in good games really don't mean much. So, you know, they're a good team, and we expect them to make runs, so we really didn't think about it much.
What's talked about in the locker room to close this thing out?
Be better defensively and be better on the glass.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Casey?
Thank you, Sports Doctor. A big shot at the end here. You see Harris finishing it up. As we head into halftime, it's an 11-point lead for East Catholic. The Got It of the Week, brought to you by our guys at CNS Pawn. Go down and tell Sock or JR that you got it and they want it. This week's Got It comes to us from Lucian Dean of Bacon Academy. Gym class. You're watching Game Day live on Day.com. The Got It of the Week was brought to you by CNS Pawn. You got it, they want it. Call my guys, 889-PAWN, located in downtown Norwich. Whatever you got, they want. And just like game day, they got it.
Well, Sam has the benefit of having been around the program his whole life. So it started at a really young age. You know, he saw his cousin go through and Joey Riley. He saw Mike McGurl go through and Mark Carbone. And
when I was a freshman, Matt Hood was still in the program, and he really showed me the ropes and showed me how it's supposed to look, because he brought energy every day to practice. Matt Noling, one of the best humans I've ever met. Like, he's a senior in college at Yale, and he's killing it, and he still makes time for me. He texts me all the time. It's just really the passing down of the torch.
It's the sustainability of the program. If the older guys aren't mentoring the younger guys and handing it back to them, and then we always talk about leaving the program in a better place than when you found it. That's something that all the players who've come through here that have made a mark have done that. Each year when somebody graduates and they move on, the graduating class goes, and there's a feeling like, hey, how are they going to be next year? The only people who are asking those questions are people outside the program, because the people inside the program know how they left it, and they know the guys below them are ready to fill into their spot.
It's just my job to leave the program better than where I found it, and we've been super successful, so that's a little hard to do, but even a little improvement is something, and that's collectively as seniors, everyone here, JJ, Yayo, Josh Harris, we all just got to get the young guys to get ready to take control of this program when we leave.
Well, it means that they have to uphold the standards of the program and what we expect them to be as student athletes in the classroom, and how they are as citizens, and what they do and how they represent the team and the program. And you don't know what you don't know. So when you're a young guy, you really don't know how to work that hard. You don't know how to come in after a win. You don't know how to come in after a loss. You don't know how to work on your game. You don't know how to maybe manage the workload of the academics and the athletics. And those guys have the experience. And I can only do so much as a coach because I'm not in their age group. You know, they can look at me and I can mentor in a certain way, but when you have somebody a year or two above you, somebody you look up to and admire, somebody who's been doing it and somebody you aspire to be like, you know, that speaks and holds way more water than sometimes that a coach can do.
Before I came here, I think we were Division 4. And freshman year I got here and we were in Division 3, and I knew me, Amari, and Devin coming here, we were gonna switch the whole entire team. And I think Coach Mark knew that. And we almost made it all the way. The next year, Dev unfortunately left us, but then we got the Outlaws. Us moving up a division and Fro filling in that spot, he helped us a lot. Win a state championship. Now we're in Division 1. I see we're ranked number 4, but I think we can go up to number 1.
I think what gets lost in this sometimes too, because we've had success with these kids, is that we forget about the other kids that came before them that laid the foundation for this, you know, like Max, Hunter, DeAndre, JoJo, all these guys that have played before that really made it cool to actually come here.
I learned from them to just never give up. You know, they've been here when this team was, I don't want to say terrible, but they were pretty bad. So, but they stuck with it and they stayed with Coach Mark, and they had a dream. You know, last year, I was just playing my role as point guard. I wasn't scoring the ball much, and Coach Mark was telling me, shoot the ball, but I was pretty hesitant because when I played AAU, I was also the point guard too, and I have scores. And this year, I feel like me being a passer last year, nobody's gonna expect me to score a lot. But over the summer and the fall, my guys have really shaped me into becoming a scorer and a playmaker. So me being a leader of this team, it means a lot. And I waited my turn, and that was my turn.
It's time for Game Day's Grade 8 Plays of the Week.
At number 8, Marlena Childs of New London basketball, the inbound to Serenity Lancaster. Nothing there, back to Childs. The long buzzer beater, good. At number 7, Grasso Tech's Cariz Johnson. You want another buzzer beater? How about I shoot this one from the cafeteria? Splash. At number 6, Bacon Academy's Doug Howard. Excuse me, Dougie. Excuse me, Dougie. Excuse me, Dougie Howard, you're on. He might be 5'10", but he jumps 6 feet, top 10 in the state. At number 5, Waterford's Braden Salima. Wrestling at 285 pounds against Ledyard. His teammates are going crazy. They know what the big man's got. Give it to him. Give it to him. Boom. Pin time. At number 4, the duo of New London High School basketball, Devin Williams, up top to Boo Boo, going boom boom, throwing it down in Whalerville. You want to see a dunk? How about Johnny Kazantzis of Killenly? Fakes the three-pointer, goes baseline, and oh, did someone order a poster? At number 2, Jared Russo, Lyman Memorial, down 1, 11 seconds left, throws it up, buzzer beater. Oh, give me the friendly kiss! 59-57, Lyman wins. But at number 1, Julian Edison, Classical Magnet, the Gladiators, swing it around, buzzer beater. Are you not entertained? Game winner, 51-50 over Rocky Hill. Those are your Grade 8 plays of the week. Send us your clips. Maybe you'll make next week's Grade 8.
We're at halftime, an 11-point East Catholic lead over St. Bernard, which means clearly there needs to be some adjustments. And our second half adjustment is brought to you by Casey Chiropractic, located in Colchester, Connecticut. Dr. Casey and his team dedicated to providing quality assessment and planning for total body health from head to toe. Casey Chiropractic will work with you on moving better, feeling great. So give them a call at 860-537-2202 or check out CaseyChiro.net for more information. And I know how great they are because Casey goes to Casey. I just got my orthotics, got my brand new orthotics in my shoes right now. Never felt better. I would take out my shoes right now and show them to you, but no one needs to see that. But, Coach, it's time for adjustments. Before you give them, St. Bernard's looks overmatched in the first quarter. They're down 11. They look great in the second quarter, and they're still down 11. So what's the adjustment to cut into this lead?
Well, they got to be able to find a way to play interior defense better, and that includes defensive rebounding. But anytime the ball has gotten into the paint, they've had trouble defending it, and that's probably a no-brainer, right? But they got to figure out a way to keep the ball on the perimeter, limit East Catholic to a jump shot, and close it out with a defensive rebound. For East, I don't know if it's an adjustment, but they just can't turn the ball over and let St. Bernard's get going up and down. I don't know if that's an adjustment. That's pretty much the game plan from the start. And as long as East doesn't turn the ball over, St. Bernard's going to have to make a lot of threes then if that doesn't happen.
I think the adjustment was already made, right? He made the adjustment in the timeout, and they start using that high-low with those two bigs and really making the Saints play interior defense, and I think you're right, Coach. So I think that adjustment was already made. A couple of tidbits. After East Catholic beat St. Bernard and Samson Riley went for 36, the Saints had an incredibly challenging practice the next day. And Coach Jones challenged a handful of Saints to take the defensive responsibility, and they poured over every move Samson Riley made. Part of the reason you saw Ty Gridgen spend so much time on Riley is he adapted. He basically went to school on it and remembered tendencies, right? So not everybody can do that, but Ty was really good at understanding tendencies, and that's why he got so much time on Riley. Gray steps in, and the Saints get an early turnover to start the second half.
That's what they needed.
Rembert takes it back and resets it for the Saints. Marshall bullies his way to the basket, can't get it to go, and Riley comes out with it. You got to knock those down. Another empty turnover for the Saints. Gray strips Harris one-on-one, and Gray finishes as Rodriguez chose to let him go, and the lead is down to 9. But right the other way, Gray cuts off the spin, out of bounds. Saints basketball.
3 straight turnovers for the Eagles. Very uncharacteristic. But once again, like I said, there aren't many coaches that are better in that halftime locker room than Coach Jones. So I anticipated that St. Bernard's would try to do something to create some tempo this quarter.
Doubling. McKelvin with a jumper, knocks it down. Troy McKelvin Jr., Splash City, and the lead has been cut yet again, down to 7. I like the backdoor cut. JJ Hay. Hey, JJ.
Oh, man, that looked like his brother there. Nobody cuts backdoor better than the Hay brothers.
Offensive foul against Marshall. Riley stood his ground and took the charge.
Fortunate enough to coach his brother Nick for many years. And JJ just moves so well without the basketball.
Double team on Riley. McKelvin and Mangual. Harris gets it, kicks it out. Hay for 3. JJ! Hey!
Personal 5-0 run for JJ.
Rembert tries to answer with a 3 of his own, no good. Harris rips the rebound down, and Riley will bring it up, and here comes the Eagles. Stutter step. Riley looking for the pass. Goes off the Saints. I think most scorers of his level look to shoot it there. He's such a savvy playmaker that his thought was, I got to cut there from a teammate. I love that his thought was to look. Mangual strips it from him, a little lackadaisical. Rembert to the cutting McKelvin, finishing at the basket. Saints out and running.
4 turnovers this quarter for the Eagles.
Rodriguez will reset the offense here now. Hay and Riley looking for the high post. Good ball movement from the Eagles. And a foul on McKelvin. I know it's on him because that look is only reserved for people who'd had fouls called on him.
Yeah, we didn't see it either.
If you want to know who the foul's on, look for the guy saying, I didn't do it. Harris, strong move to the basket, and a break for the Saints as Marshall blocked it and saved it, but he was out of bounds because he saved it right into Harris's lap.
Yeah, it would have been an assist for Marshall to the other team.
Jones throws it away, and I'll tell you right now, they're down 10, and they've caused 4 turnovers. They were down 11 to start, 5 turnovers, and they've only been able to shave off 1 point with 5 turnovers.
Yeah, and that's back to what you said, earlier. We had them. We just didn't play well, but they're still lost.
And there's a backcourt violation. I equated East Catholic to the left-handed pitcher that doesn't throw all that hard, doesn't have an overwhelming breaking ball, throws a lot of strikes, and you finish the game 0 for 3 with 3 ground balls to short, and you come away going, he's not that good. And after a while, after your 25th ground ball to short, you start to realize, maybe I'm not that good.
Yeah. Well, it's only against the really, really good teams, though, that you see these kinds of performances, like teams that are undefeated or have crazy winning streaks. When they play your run-of-the-mill high school team, they also win by 40.
Marshall ahead to Mangual. The Saints have gotten some baskets at the rim here to start the second half.
Yeah, 6 turnovers from East Catholic. I don't know if they've turned it over 6 times in a quarter in the Luke Riley era.
Mangual was chasing Riley. They swing it around. There's Jones on the baseline. He scores over Marshall.
Still been the question that they can't answer. How to stop Braden Jones inside.
What a great play from Hay. And quite frankly, he out-hustled everybody on the Saints. Rodriguez drives, lobs to Jones. He gets Marshall in the air. No foul, gets his own rebound, puts it back. He's just too big for both McKelvin and Marshall.
And too wide. Length and height is one thing. St. Bernard's has that. It's the wide body. It's hard to get around him, and he plays well off 2 feet. He's very balanced. He's got a soft touch.
Turnover as Rembert loses it to Hay. Hay finds Riley. Basket is good, and the Saints are going to call a timeout because the lead is back to 14. And as good as the Saints have been trying to turn over the Eagles are going in the other direction.
Well, the difference is when the Eagles get a turnover, they're making them pay. And St. Bernard's isn't always cashing in on the turnovers. And the game is about making a bucket. It's about baskets and scoring points. And that's where St. Bernard's has really struggled tonight, being able to score the basketball.
The Saints have been, it's one thing to not make shots, but it's another thing to be a little lazy. And right here is a good example. Right there, Hay just went after that ball and got there first. And that's been, I think, the 50-50 balls, a lot of them have gone in favor of East Catholic. They've been able to get there to the basketball.
No, JJ has been exceptional for East Catholic this quarter. He has 5 points and 2 steals. So,
what I had heard about JJ Hay was that he played his freshman year for an outstanding, diminutive, sartorial coach. And then he said after that, I will never play for anyone other than that guy, but the guy retires. And so he goes, I got to find a short, intense, sartorial coach. And he ends up at East Catholic playing for Luke Riley because Luke Riley was the only person who could emulate the guy he played for as a freshman. I mean, that's the story that I heard on the street.
Well, if you heard it on the street, it's got to be true. Well, yeah, fortunate enough to coach JJ my last season, the COVID year, the 12-game truncated season that we came back from COVID, and he was able to get varsity minutes for us, and I saw right then and there that it was a kid that understood how to play the game the right way and was going to give you everything he had every minute that he was out there.
Sports Doctor, you were listening in at the timeout. What do you have to hear?
Yeah, Coach Jones told his kids, we play great individually, they play better as a team. That's basically what he said. You guys all are great players. You're not playing as a team.
That's a great point.
And that's all he talked about during the timeout is you're trying to do everything by yourselves. Rely on the people around you and play together as a unit.
And that's one of the right there is why Mark Jones is such a great coach, because that is perfectly said. Rembert knocks down a 3 and the Saints turn them over, and so here we are again with them able to cut it to single digits. McKelvin drives, pump fakes, and no good, but look at Marshall. Loses it. Mangual on the floor, saves it to McKelvin. And there's a smart choice there. Get it back to Gray and reset.
Good hustle by St. Bernard there to save the possession.
Long 3 from Mangual, in and out. Rembert tips it, but Yayo Rodriguez going in the other direction.
It seemed like kind of a settle there. They didn't know what they wanted to do. Here's a 3-pointer. Let me just try it.
Riley, pull up. No good. Gray comes down with it. Mangual. And he's going to get a foul called on the floor. We'll see if he's going to shoot or not. We'll wait for the officials to give us the answer to that.
Yeah, nice little Euro step there. Got the defender off balance, and he was able to kind of manufacture a blocking foul. Even though didn't have much of a clear path to the basket, I think he got the defender off balance with that first initial step.
And I'll tell you right now, tomorrow at practice, the Saints are going to shoot 740 free throws. Let me tell you that for sure. One more for Mangual. And an empty trip again. The story of both the first and third quarter for the Saints, missed free throws. Oh, Josh Harris. Fancy with the finger roll. Big man. getting it done.
Yeah, it's that fake handoff. That's the second time now he's done that. Saints anticipating that he's going to dribble handoff. He keeps it.
Great look from Rembert to Marshall. And he's going to get called on a basket interference from Jones, so the basket is good. And I think that Marshall needed it because he has not seen much go down tonight.
Yeah, well, he still didn't see it go down, but he'll get credit for the basket.
And the lead still hovering in that same spot. It's 11. Harris looking for Jones. Instead, Rodriguez for three, no good. Rembert pulls it down. The Saints with a chance again to cut it to single digits. Rembert, no good. Gets his own follow, no good. And Harris with the rebound. 2 looks for Rembert, can't get him to go. Riley hangs in the air, body control, and scores. 18 for Sampson.
With the flex.
Rembert from the parking lot, short. Riley gets the handoff. Stutter steps. Gray's going to get the foul called against him as he went for the reach. Tried to strip, and Riley was smart, kept it low. 3 on Gray. Grudgeon in.
Gonna have to just let Gray play through this now, though. 3 fouls. End of the third here.
Shot clock's off, 32 seconds remaining. Good job, Grudgeon tips it out to Mangual, 2-on-1 with Gray.
Oh.
And a blocking foul on the floor. And I don't think Rodriguez likes the call, but that was a lot of body contact.
2-on-1 opportunity for the Saints there. Just a lot of things, once again, you know, they're going to look at this film and say, man, we could have did this a lot better, but still time left. You can go on a run in basketball a lot. Just a snap of the fingers, you can make a big run, so see how they end this possession, this quarter rather.
Gray to inbound. Quick trigger 3 from O'Leary's no good. Harris has stepped up his game. Strong rebound, but a turnover. Gray, 2-on-1. Draws the foul, and Amir Gray will shoot 2 as he got some body contact from Harris.
Unofficially, I have 8 turnovers for East Catholic that quarter. So, you know, if they wanted it to be a blowout, or if they wanted to put the foot on the throat in the third quarter, they would have had to have cut down on those turnovers. They're leaving St. Bernard's a chance here to make a run in the fourth.
Gray badly misses that one. The lead remains 13. Makendo checks in. And 1 more for Amir Gray.
The problem is the Saints can't make them pay. They can't make them pay for the unforced errors or the forced errors.
One of 2 for Gray. Lead is 12. 15 seconds remaining in the third. A timeout. Luke Riley, as he saw some trouble brewing. So he'll call a timeout. And with that timeout, we'll take a quick timeout. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
An interesting note, you know, when we talked about how East makes teams feel like, you know, they played bad. I think East gets credit for the missed layups and the issues that teams have scoring around the basket. But the missed free throws would appear to be solely in the hands of St. Bernard's. But I'd be curious to see if they shot poorly from the line tonight, as Rodriguez finishes with the right hand. Did they shoot poorly from the free throw line? Or is this what they shoot like all the time? Grudgeon at the buzzer. If it goes, no good. We're at the end of 3. It is a 14-point East Catholic lead. Fourth quarter action on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
All that is good begins with a smile. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Part of our commitment to serving our patients includes providing information that helps them to make more informed decisions about their oral health needs. Our website is a resource we hope you'll find both useful and interesting. Contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com.
Too. Well, scorers know how to score, and great scorers flex when they do, and Samson Riley is certainly that. Back to that point I was making is, did the Saints shoot poorly from the free throw line tonight? Or is this what they normally shoot like, except they're just so good, they overwhelm so many teams? You know, did they miss 10 free throws tonight and they normally miss 6? Or is this indicative of what they are? And I can't answer that, but I guess the point is, where East Catholic is so good, you talk all the time about offensive efficiency. East Catholic doesn't give you a break. If you don't capitalize when they make a mistake, they are absolutely going to capitalize when you do. So it seems like they're so efficient offensively, East Catholic is, that even when you turn them over and they'll do all that stuff, they never go away. That's how they're able to, what we look like, play bad and extend a lead.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if they normally shoot this bad or if this is just a one-time thing. You can't win Division I if you don't make free throws. It's just as simple as that. You're not going to go and blow out a team. All the games, when it gets down to it, are going to be close. They're going to be, battles that are going to go down to the wire. So you're going to have to make free throws. You can't shoot that poorly from the free throw line and win.
Grudgeon hangs, can't get it to go. McKelvin's keeping it alive. He gets the rebound, and he'll be fouled by Okendo. So let's talk a little bit about the best teams in the state of Connecticut. I'm going to take East Catholic, and I'm going to put them aside for a second, and I'll tell everybody at home why after. Northwest Catholic, Windsor, Ridgefield, Notre Dame, Colby. These are the teams that are being thrown around as the next best. Well, East Catholic's next 2 games are Northwest Catholic and Windsor, so we're going to find a lot about them. What have you heard about Colby and Notre Dame and schools like that?
Well, Windsor could be the next best team in the state, but they don't play in Division I. So, without getting into a long-winded critique of our state tournament system, I can't even talk about Windsor right now. Notre Dame West Haven is undefeated, but the kind of criticism on them is they've stayed in the league. They've won something like 60-something straight league games. They haven't really played the most robust out-of-league schedule. But Jason Shea is a perennial appearance. He has his team perennially appearing in the postseason tournament and making deep runs. So he'll have his team ready, and they're hungry to get that championship. Notre Dame Fairfield is another good Catholic school out of the Bridgeport area. They have 1 loss, and they face undefeated Colby Cathedral tomorrow. So that'll be a good game to kind of see who's got superiority in Bridgeport.
The same rim that was struggling for the Saints. J.J. Hayes said, hey, this is my hometown rim right here. Not my hometown, my home school rim. This is where I shoot all day. So I'm going to get the toilet bowl, the in, out, and back in again for 3. The lead is 15. 13 after O'Leary on the cut. So
just wrapping that up, and then you have Ridgefield, who their only loss was to St. Bernard, but they had to travel 2 hours to go to Uncasville to play the Saints. And if any team has to make that trip out to Ridgefield, it might be a much different story.
Well, isn't Ridgefield a 2-hour drive to every other school in the state of Connecticut?
And therefore, it's a 2-hour drive to their place.
Gray, long 3, back iron, no good. Jones ahead to Rodriguez. zips to Riley, and East Catholic will reset.
And that's why I think that, I love what Coach Jones did this season, because once again, he kind of is playing for the long road. He knew that his guys had to get some, see another offensive rebound. He knew his guys had to get some experience playing against the very best in the state.
I think that basket is good for Amir Gray, and he's going to go to the line. A wild shot in sequence of events. But at the end of it all, it's a 15-point East lead, and Gray will shoot one from the line.
But for this year, because he played such a tough out-of-conference schedule, they're most likely going to be on the road in the quarterfinals against a very good team, which is going to be a very difficult matchup for them.
Gray misses the free throw. He's had a terrible night from the line. Way up ahead, Hayes running the floor, and JJ finishes, and they're going to tee him up. He must have said something after he made the layup.
Whereas last year, Casey, when St. Bernard made their run to the state tournament championship in Division II, they got Windsor at home in the quarters. It makes a big difference in that quarterfinal game.
So McKelvin will shoot the free throw for St. Bernard, and it does make a huge difference, right, that going on the road in the gauntlet that is Division I. You know, we've talked about even in Division II where there's so many good teams, but in Division I it's a gauntlet. There's never a night off. And no matter, even when you're playing those early round games at home, you're going to have talented teams, well-coached teams coming at you from the round, from the quarterfinals on. It's a death march through the quarterfinals on.
Yeah, talked to Coach Riley yesterday. He said any of the top 10 teams on any given night can beat any of the other top 10 teams. So he wasn't ready to draw a line and say, these are the teams to beat, nor would he give any a bulletin board fodder to opposing coaches. But I believe him. I believe him when he says it. And it is going to come down to who executes. And I think having a home game in the quarters is going to be a big advantage.
St. Bernard's has it cut a little closer now, but trying to press and steal. Grudgeon hangs in the air, no good, but there's Gray with the follow. They got the lead down here now to 10, 63-53. Rodriguez dumps it down to Harris. Blocked from behind by Mangual. That was a good defensive play by Mangual. O'Leary, McKelvin, spot up three straight ahead, way off the mark, and Riley with the rebound as the clock now down to 4.5 minutes. Here comes the old days, you never would have seen the ball again.
No, and that's what we were talking off air about that they perfected the four corners offense, the old Dean Smith offense, and they would just take the air out of the ball.
Yayo for three, no good. O'Leary, nice box out on Harris. Saints down 10.
That's why I do like the shot clock. Gives teams a chance to still execute, make a comeback.
Gray from the elbow, no good after knocking down his previous one. Well, to all of you in Division I out there, I say this. They're the three-time defending state champions, and every year they've won it, somebody said this is the year that East Catholic's vulnerable. They haven't lost in the state since the Clinton administration. And every year a team has said, everyone says, this is the year they're down, this is the year they don't have that great next player. And every time they lose the great next player, the great next player steps in. All roads lead through Manchester. All roads lead through these guys. They are the 2023 state champions of Division I, the 2022 state champions of Division I. We didn't have it in 20 and 21. They are the 2019 champions. Until someone beats them, they are, this is the kingdom right here. And a team that is interested might be, for example, the Fitch Falcons. Coach Sylvan right there taking a look.
They had an exciting one with Waterford last night.
I think Waterford, because we know how good their coaching staff is so good, and they've got the 6'10" kid. Juan makes a difference, but they're playing better as a team. Waterford is that other team that could be a spoiler in the ECC as Gray misses the 3. We know how good New London St. Bernard's on Friday night is going to be a great game. We know Fitch is real as they continue to play basketball without some, of their players, but I still think that Waterford might be the team that might be able to knock somebody out in the tournament. Riley feels a little bit like a dagger, puts the lead back up to 13. 21 for Samson Riley.
And this East team, they're not built the same way they have been in recent years, but these two bigs are going to be a problem for whoever they play against. And they are able to handle the ball. They catch and pass well. They have soft touch around the rim. Oh, and by the way, they go 6'8", 6'4".
Rembert was blocked by Jones, but went into the hands of Mangual, and he finished. A little full court pressure here from the Saints. East breaks it beautifully, but Jones ended up Harris. And out of bounds off McKelvin. Jones, right past McKelvin on the baseline. Beautiful move from Braden Jones. East went into this year thinking they were going to have Wake Forest-bound Preston Fowler, who, went to prep. And so I think teams thought after last year's state championship that East was going to be the number one team again because Riley was coming back. They thought Fowler was going to be back. They knew Jones was going to be, but then Fowler left, and I think that's why teams said East might be vulnerable. And in the early going of the season, we said East might be vulnerable. Well, I think we can stop saying that East is vulnerable. East is as disciplined as ever.
Yeah, it's just next man up. Coach Riley says we preach that we want to have the most wins and we want to have the most fun. And he said that, explicitly yesterday in my conversation with him. He says you got to enjoy the wins as a coach. You got to enjoy your players, the relationships you build with them, and you got to appreciate the relationships they build with each other.
Steal from Grudgeon ahead to Rembert.
And for St. Bernard's, like I said, this is not all that bad. They got another chance to kind of feel what a Division I team plays like and what they're going to have to do better in order to compete in that tournament. It also gives them a little bit of a chip heading into the big matchup on Friday night against New London, because New London is coming in that game. They're one of the hottest teams in the league.
I think Coach Cornish was probably like, we got to get him after the loss,
yes,
too. Like,
exactly.
Come on.
So it's not all that bad, but they are going to have to figure some things out, especially how they're going to defend against teams with that kind of size advantage inside.
Well, I think we talked in the open about the Saints being the premier program on the eastern half of the state, southeastern Connecticut in particular. They clearly are. And they beat the Fitches and the New Londons over the past couple of years because no one's able to influence the game the way a team like East Catholic is able to influence the game. It's not that St. Bernard's doesn't see 6'8", or that they don't see two teams, teams with big guys or fast guards. They see scorers, like a Samson Riley. They see all of those things in the ECC. But a team that's that well coached, that well disciplined, that has the 6'8" and the 6'4", the wide-bodied 6'8" and the 6'4", the scorer, the point guard, the three-point sniper, the defensive guy. Like, you start looking at East and you go, wow, they're a really complete team, and that's why they're number one. So you're 100% right. The Saints will get back to work in the ECC. New London's a great next up for them because it's going to be a challenging game. And at the end of the year, we may see these two teams again, because around the state, the word is out that the Saints are as talented as anybody and can play with anybody. And I'm going to take East out of the equation, so we know Division I is going to be, open for a bunch of teams to make that impact.
Yeah, if I had to make a call on the final 4 teams in Division I, I would go with East, Notre Dame, West Haven, Ridgefield, and I would say St. Bernard if they don't get matched up with one of those 3 teams in the quarters. So that it's going to come down to how the bracket plays out. I think if St. Bernard's has to travel to any one of those 3 teams I just mentioned, that'll be a tough win for them.
I think West Haven's probably the best of the 3 in so much as Ridgefield is, you might as well get a hotel room the night before. And coming here is in no picnic either. You almost got to think West Haven, a team that they've never seen. Though I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year, I don't know that the Saints would want to see East Catholic for the 3rd time either, as Rembert knocks down a 3 as the clock ticks up to the end of this one. It will be, at the end of it all, it's going to end up being an 8-point win for East Catholic, but never challenged, never really in doubt with 6 seconds remaining. But, I mean, yeah, if I had to pick a team of that group, I guess you'd rather go to West Haven, or, it's the shortest of the drives. It's the team that you haven't seen, and so I don't know that they want a Ridgefield again, East Catholic a 3rd time. They may want a team that they haven't seen before,
maybe
in a better location, because I don't think they want to go to Ridgefield under any circumstance.
I don't want to go to Ridgefield.
I don't either, and I don't want to, and I don't think they want to come here to play a team for the 3rd time.
No. But Notre Dame West Haven supposedly has the best player in the state, and Abdu Torre.
Oh, what a scintillating sophomore he is.
So maybe just hope for somebody else, and that's possible. The way it can break out, Ridgefield could end up getting matched up with one of those other teams in the quarters, and you might not have to see either.
And there goes the buzzer, 68-60. East Catholic continues its domination of the state of Connecticut and remains the #1 team in the state, showing the St. Bernard Saints exactly what it takes to be the kings of the Division I kingdom. We'll be back with the Sports Doctor's interview with head coach Luke Riley, as well as our player of the game. But first, we want to see this message from the law offices of Dan Horrigan, sponsoring the coach's interview. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
I came here in 1992 not knowing a soul, and I started a law practice in New London. The community has supported us ever since. Thank you. Game Day athletes, playing high school sports is going to be one of the best experiences of your life. I know you give 100% effort and you treat your teammates, your opponents, and your coaches and officials with respect. Are you doing the same in school? Are you showing up every day and giving 100% effort? Are you giving the respect to your classmates, your teachers, and your parents? Sure, winning is great, and give it your best today when you go out on that field. But never forget, getting a good education will be the best game you'll ever play in your life.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
68-60 East Catholic. The sports doctor has the player of the game and the head coach, and what's the coincidence? They're both named Riley.
Yeah. Hey, Casey. Coach, was it your discipline and your ability to execute that makes a difference in a game like this tonight?
Yeah, it was a very high-level game. We know that they're good clubs, I said at halftime. So, yeah, I was happy with our execution, good enough to win, but not good enough to walk away feeling like, wow, we really executed to our full capacity. But, yeah, the guys responded really well. They really tried to take Sam out of the game, and the other guys did exactly what we've been trying to talk about. So it was a really good win for us.
Now, is it easier seeing a team like this the second time around? Do you feel you're more prepared? No surprises?
No two games are the same, so you know it's going to be a different time every time you play somebody. So I thought they did a good job preparing. we had more information on them this time because last time we played so early in the season. But, hey, the guys responded great. Yayo was great. Our bigs were awesome. Sam made a big one there at the end, so great team win.
And it was a physical game. And, from the outset, the refs are kind of letting you guys play. The kids do you feel like you stepped up and rose to the challenge?
Well, those guys are all college refs, and those are the guys you're going to get in the state tournament. So it was very indicative of how the play is in Division I state tournament because it's a physical game, and we knew it would be a physical game, and that's what you learn to expect sometimes when you play a good club.
And you talked about before the game, you really enjoy coaching this group of kids.
Yeah, I mean, we got a magical thing going here, and every year we got guys filling the spaces and stepping up into their roles, and we have a really fun time doing it. So, that's part of the magic is the friendships and the personalities we got.
All right. Well, it helps to have your son over here. Our player of the game tonight, Luke Sampson, 21 points tonight. First of all, talk about the game in general. Your second time facing them.
Yeah, they're, like Coach said, they're a really great team. They're well coached. They have a lot of returners from their Division II state championship run last year. And just the game overall, they did a lot to take me away, and other guys on my team stepped up. Braden Jones stepped up big time, JJ Hay, Yayo. They all stepped up, and that's what good teams do. And comparatively to the first time we faced them, I think that was the big difference maker. Guys have stepped up and gotten way better since then.
All right, now you're a senior. I'm sure you want to go out in style. How much fun is this next month of the season going to be for you?
Yeah, I'm going to try and make it as much fun as I can, but, in the moment it's kind of hard. I've said this before, in like a year or two I'm going to look back and wish I enjoyed it way more than I did, but it's a blast running around with my dad as the coach. My little brother's a freshman, so my brother last year was a senior, and we're all family, so it's a ton of fun.
All right, great win tonight. I wish high school could last forever, too. But listen, nice job out there. Good luck in the state tournament. Samson Riley, our player of the game tonight.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. East Catholic remains kings of the hill. St. Bernard's back to the drawing board. Both teams with some highly competitive games to come here in the remaining. East Catholic still has Windsor and Northwest Catholic, both of which will be very exciting. New London, of course, still has a crack at St. Bernard's this Friday. So a lot for both teams to go after. For us, this concludes our regular season on game day. So now everything from here on out are championships, starting on Saturday with the ECC Wrestling Championships live from Killingly High School. The following week, we will have the ECC Cheerleading Championships from Waterford. Then, of course, the Girls Basketball Championships from Mohegan Sun, the Boys Basketball Semifinals, and then the Boys Basketball Finals, and then the Unified Basketball as well. So a lot still to come on game day, but we're done with our regular season, a fitting way to end it. And from here on out, it's chips wherever we go, playing for the final time. So we'll see you on game day Saturday, I'm sure, from Killingly High School, the ECC Wrestling Championships. But before we sign off, Coach, one final thought on East Catholic, one final thought on St. Bernard's.
East Catholic, like you said, Casey, it's got to go through them. I just like how Sampson put it. Since we saw St. Bernard in December, a lot of guys have gotten better and are beginning to step up. We saw that tonight. And for St. Bernard, like I said, I don't think it's the worst case scenario for them. It gives them a chance to reevaluate going into a huge ECC game Friday night against the New London Whalers, and that is what they have to kind of focus on right now. They got to take care of business Friday night against New London and keep that top spot in the ECC. So they'll have a chip going into practice tomorrow for sure.
Well, we're looking forward to more time with you, but the next time we do basketball, there's going to be a championship on the line. It'll be the ECC Girls Finals. East Catholic says it all right there. They are the heads of the table for the boys basketball, and maybe we'll see a third time between the Saints and East Catholic. So for the coach, Chris Giusti, the sports doctor, and all of our crew, we thank you all, and we'll see you soon. You've been watching Game Day live on theday.com.